Radio legend Cathy Hughes talks about the second annual Urban Honors. The day before impeachment, Trump pushes for a fast acquittal, and America celebrates the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today on The Diamond K Show. Welcome back to Radio on Fire, live from the RFN television studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. My name is Diamond K. Thank you for joining me. The White House argued a legal brief today that 2 articles of impeachment against Donald Trump are structurally deficient. Not surprisingly, they called it a rigged process and urged senators to immediately acquit the president of the charges that will be formally presented at his trial this week. It's been a long time coming, but Donald Trump is going to face the music, so to speak. Many Trump supporters, including his son, Don Jr., think that the impeachment process started the day that Trump was elected. I've heard many Republicans speak like this, and even if that is true, right? Let's just pretend for a minute that what Republicans are saying about impeachment being something that's been sought after by never-Trumpers and Democrats, even if that's the case. Trump himself has participated in actions that support impeachment over the years that he's been in office, right? The never-Trumpers, according to Trump supporters, began targeting Donald Trump day one. The president's conduct have posed national security threats over and over and over again, right? He's obstructed Congress in their efforts to get testimony and documents and things like that as it relates towards Ukraine. Trump is going to be, or is now, the third U.S. president to be impeached after the House of Representatives adopted both articles of impeachment against him. So what happens next? What's going to happen is this. Impeachment does not mean that the president is removed from office. I've said this many times. This is a political, theatrical matter, right? The Senate must hold a trial to make the determination whether or not he's going to be thrown from office. The House voted on Wednesday. They have their impeachment managers. They sent the articles of impeachment that Nancy Pelosi has been holding back to the Senate. And tomorrow, this process is going to take another step, and we could have a 2-week trial, could have a month-long trial. We don't know yet. At the end of the day, Trump will more than likely stay in office. But this is an attempt to put a check on his power and his authority. You have co-equal branches, and it's necessary for the country to do this, even though it is not going to result in his removal. You listen to the Diamond K Show on Radio on Fire. Stay tuned. I will be back after this quick break. Welcome back to the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. My name is Diamond K. Thank you for joining me. Urban One founder and chairwoman Cathy Hughes has been building her media empire for 40 years. Now, this ongoing journey will be shown and highlighted at Urban One Honors, which took place at the MGM Grand in Washington, D.C. It was a star-studded event in the nation's capital, and Radio on Fire was honored to witness it. I'm different. I recently had a chance to speak with Cathy Hughes about why she chose MLK Day to air the second annual Urban Honors And here's what she said.
Because most people don't realize this. There is no national celebration of Dr. King. Every city has their own. Every community does their own thing, but there's no national celebration. So I said, we'll be the national celebration. Each year we will film in December, but we will air on the date of the official celebration of his birthday. And it's a day where we reflect on how much progress we've made, where we need to go. So the date was perfect.
The second annual Urban Honors airs tonight on TV One. Make sure you check it out. You're listening to the Don McKay Show here on Radio on Fire. Of course, on social media, I am Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn at the Don McKay Show, at Radio on Fire. Welcome back to the Don McKay Show here on Radio on Fire. Of course, your man Don McKay in here, Radio on Fire. We are the voice of urban America. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader of the civil rights movement from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. But his dream continued to live on. The first federal MLK Day was observed on the third Monday of January, 1986. But many states held back. They held out. They didn't want no part of it. Arizona did not recognize the day until 1992, when the state lost its rights to host the Super Bowl after voters in Arizona failed to make the day a paid holiday. I remember this time very clearly. The last state to adopt the holiday was New Hampshire, and that was in 1999. Today, across this country, we honored Dr. King and celebrated his message and his legacy. In downtown Baltimore, the 20th annual MLK Day Parade took place, and just like here, in many cities across America. In Washington, D.C., the National Action Network, headed by Al Sharpton, were joined by former President Bill Clinton on this special day.
As we gather today, first let me thank all of our honorees.
I want to thank all the people here who had anything to do with this award. Martin, thank you for continuing your work. Thank you for having me at your mother's funeral. I loved her very much.
In South Carolina, 2020 presidential candidates made remarks at the King Day rally.
He took on the entire political establishment. He took on the economic establishment, and he fought racism every step of the way. And what our job is not just to remember the history of Dr. King, it is to absorb his revolutionary spirit and apply it today.
In a great scene, candidates came together, showing solidarity, marching arm in arm with citizens from South Carolina in a very warming display. At least for today, they were unified. MLK Day 2020. You listen to the Don McKay Show. I'm here weekdays, 7 p.m. for the latest news and entertainment and views. Head on over to radioonfire.com. Follow us on social media, Radio on Fire, the voice of urban America. Your man Don McKay. See you next time.